All right.
Hey everyone on YouTube, my name is Dr. Monroe Man with Break Diving and joined today by Favor James in Nigeria. Today we're having a What is Your Net Worth event. The event is in two parts. The first part is what you're seeing recorded here on YouTube, which is just generally explaining to you what your net worth is and how you can calculate it and improve it. And the second part is not recorded, and Favor and I are going to discuss our financial situations and what we can do to actually specifically improve. If you want to attend these events too and make lots of awesome friends around the world, please come to breakdiving.io. The link is in the description. So I'm going to share my screen, Favor, and show you this. This is from Investopedia. And you may know this, maybe you don't, but for those on YouTube, so what is your net worth? Basically, it's how solvent you are. And it's basically the assets. So the assets are the things that you own, minus your liabilities, the things that you owe. So let me open up a different file here, 1 second. And okay. So let me share my screen again. And I'm going to do a simple balance sheet. Me, Inc. balance sheet. And the balance sheet is what your assets and liabilities are. So Me, Inc. balancing is always at a point of time. You can say as of, and today is what? May 3rd. May 3rd, 2021. So what we're doing on this, it's going to be your remember, net worth equals assets minus liabilities. So a lot of people think of net worth only for a business. For example, if Microsoft has $2 billion of assets, meaning computers and their computer code and sales and chairs and servers.
Recording in progress.
And they subtract liabilities, which is their, oh, there's an echo now. Favor, did you? Oh, let me mute you for a second. Yeah, I just muted you, so that should be fine. So then minus the liabilities, these are the debts that you owe, such as loans, credit card debt, maybe a business loan, a mortgage that you have to pay for your business. But the key is you can have this also for yourself, Me, Inc. What are your assets and what are your liabilities? I'm going to give you an example of assets. So assets could be a car, a home, money in the bank, stocks you own, bonds you own. Okay. And it could be, trying to think, the value of a business you own. Okay, could be, sometimes you could say the value of education you've received. And I put it in parentheses because I'll explain it a little bit later. So basically think of anything that is financially valuable to you. So anything that is financially valuable. And then liabilities is anything that you owe to someone else financially. So that could be a car loan, a home loan, a loan you got from a friend that hasn't been paid back. You could also put up here, you could say a loan of money you have given to a friend that hasn't been paid back. Now, these loans are only if there's a contract. So if you just give your friend $20, but you have no way to prove it, sorry, that's not an asset. That's a stupidity, because you probably will not see that money anytime soon. So just keep that in mind. Some other liabilities could be, let's see, money you owe the bank. Let's see, bonds. Let's see, stock. What could be? Stocks with negative values. I'm trying to think of, it wouldn't be negative values. It would be like a negative margin account. That's a better way of saying that, in the stock market. And let's see, a debt your business owns. And I also put here any student debt in parentheses. So for example, let's go just make an actual how this would work. So let's say one person for Me Inc. up here has, let's see, $10,000 in the bank, a car worth $3,000 of car value, and $1,000 in stocks, for example. And I'll put let's see, the value of education you received is, let's say, $20,000 in education earned. Then liabilities. Let's say you owe, let's see $3,000. Let's say you still owe a $2,000 car loan and $1,000 owed back to the bank. And let's say $3,000 of credit card debt. So if we add all, and then let's put how much, and then this person has $10,000 in student loan debt remaining. Okay, so if we tally these up, we've got 10, 13,000, 14,000. So then plus, so 14,000 without the education. If we add the education, it's 34,000. Okay, of net worth. Then here, we've got 3,000, 6,000. So 6,000 without taking in consideration the student loan. If we take the student loan into consideration, now it's $16,000. That would be the 6,000 from here plus that. Do you understand so far? Yes? Okay. Great. So anyway, moving on to this. So we've got these things here. And you can see here, if we do the formula, which is right up here, net worth equals assets minus liabilities. Let's copy that again and move that down here. So the net worth is assets minus liabilities. So we can do two formulas here, two versions, one with the student loan and one without. So the first one is net worth with education, without education, equals 14,000 minus 6,000 equals, what is that? 8,000? 8,000, I think it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, $8,000. Then you have the net worth with education. If you include these values for the education earned and the student loan debt, you're going to end up with 34,000 minus 16,000 equals, let's see, I'm gonna need a calculator for that one. I think it's 18, let me see. 34 minus 16 is 18. So $18,000. I prefer this one here because even though education is an investment, the actual knowledge itself is not increasing your financial bottom line. Just having knowledge doesn't mean anything. Just having the education doesn't do anything for you. It's whether you can apply that education to actually increase your money in the bank, the car value, the number of stocks you own, and the value, etc. So, Favor, do you give me a thumbs up if you understand so far? Good. Okay. So what you guys need to do on YouTube, wherever you're watching this, is do exactly what I just did. Follow this outline and create your assets and make a list of all of your assets. Do not inflate them. A lot of people like to put numbers there that do not actually reflect their actual reality. Don't say that your car is worth $12,000 just because you think it is. No, you need to go to a car dealer and go to 3 car dealers and say, how much will you buy this car for? And in the United States, we have something called a Kelly's Blue Book. So if you've got a Kelly's Blue Book, great, use that. And use the average value. It's safer than using the mint condition or the terrible condition. And use that. And look at your actual stocks. Look at the value, tally them up. And my recommendation is don't use your education for your assets because, again, it's to me, it's just a tool. Yes, it is an asset, but it's an asset. It's an educational asset that you use to increase your financial assets. So I wouldn't include it in there because you cannot sell your education to somebody else. You can't transfer it to somebody else. For example, you can give this $10,000 to somebody else. You can give this car, you can give the car to somebody else and transfer that 3,000. You can sell your stocks and transfer that. You cannot transfer your education to somebody else. You can sell the use of your education through your brain if somebody hires you, but you can't actually say, hey, do you want to buy my education? And I'll give it to you and it's yours. It doesn't work like that. And then do the same thing for your liabilities. Write down, how much do you owe people? How much do you owe the bank? How much do you owe in credit card debt? Again, you need to, the problem in the United States is a lot of people, and this used to be me many, many years ago. Today I have 0 credit card debt, but I used to have horrible amount of credit card debt. Let's put this up to $23,000 of credit card debt. Now, that is $26,000 of liabilities. And then we move that here. 14,000 minus 26,000. Now we don't have an $8,000 positive net worth. Now it's 14 minus 26 is, now it's negative $12,000 net worth. And unfortunately, this is most people. Most people, at least in the United States, I'm sure it's elsewhere, most people have a negative net worth because of their credit card debt being so high, because they owe so much to the bank, etc. And a lot of people buy a house. Let's just say instead of this being credit card debt, let's see $3,000 of home value and $23, excuse me, and which one did I just change? $3,000 of home value and 23,000 of home mortgage. So if you do that, that's terrible. You think you've owned a home. I own a home. That's great. I'm a big player in the world. No, you don't. You own $3,000 of a home and you still owe $23,000 to the bank. So if you cannot continue paying these mortgage payments, guess what? Your home gets sold because you have so much more in liabilities on the home than you do actually in home value. So always keep that in mind. Just because you quote unquote own something doesn't mean you really own it. It's not really an asset because you owe so much money on it via a loan. So this being said, we're going to stop the video portion of this now. What I want to recommend that any of you on YouTube actually do is do that same exercise that I just showed you how to do, but do it with your own financial situation. If you're in a family, have everybody in the family do that separately, even if you have kids who are 10 years old, because they should understand this value. And even if they're in high school and they don't have a job, and have them do it, and they'll recognize, oh my gosh, their net worth is zero or negative if they owe things to other people, even if they borrowed a pencil from a friend at school and haven't given the pencil back, and they have no other money in the bank, and guess what? That person has a net worth of -1 pencil. And so you can use this to to help anybody learning about net worth. And your key needs to be, you have to maximize it. My net worth for decades was massively negative. And after reading a lot of great books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Die Broke, and I mean, Susie Orman, and hundreds of books on money management, I finally realized I have to stop using credit cards, and I need to just spend. I need to make more money, and I had to buy using cash. Stop putting things on credit cards. And it's been absolutely amazing. And my life is a lot less stressful now. It's also a lot less fun. Life was a lot more fun, I think, when you just put things on a credit card and got into debt. But with the fun comes a lot of stress. It's kind of like gambling. It's a lot of fun to go gamble, but when you just keep gambling and you keep losing money, it's also very, very stressful because you have to figure out how to pay that back. So for those of you on YouTube, by the way, please come and join us at Break Diving. Favor and I are going to have a discussion now about his net worth, about my net worth, and we're going to compare. And hope you'll come join us at breakdiving.io, and you can meet me, you can meet Favor, you can meet hundreds of other awesome people like us from around the world trying to improve our lives. So say, wave goodbye, Favor. All right, Favor doesn't want to wave goodbye. He said something, but I couldn't hear him because he was muted. Anyway, there, I saw him waving. Bye, guys.